everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Vet Tech Nerd Party. It is so weird to be sitting at the table with you two.
It's so weird for you to be over here.
I'm usually on the other side.
Sucker.
I know. The reason I am up at the table today with you guys is because we have an amazing guest, Dr. Dani Rabwin, with us today. Woo-hoo. So we're kind of doing a collaboration with Ready Vet Go.
I am so excited to be here for this collaboration, and I feel like I kicked you out of your spot, Mallory. I have this seat of honor right in front of you guys.
Seat of honor, hot seat.
Yeah.
I am so happy to have you up there, and that I don't have to be up there for one episode. So I will take it.
It's my pleasure to take that off of you.
So for your viewers who don't know us, I'm Mallory. I'm an RVT. I've been in the field for over 20 years. We have Julia.
Julia, RVT, been in the vet field for about 15. I think I'm the baby of the group, so 15 years.
Julia did a lot of shelter medicine is where she has.
Shelter, HQ, HV, high quality, high volume, spay, neuter. That's my jam.
And you did Pacific Marine Mammal Center for a little bit as well.
For a hot minute. That's where I met that lovely lady to your right.
Who is?
I'm Jenn Graney.
Oh, did you like that in little?
Yeah, that was really slick.
Real good.
I felt that.
Get the pressure right off of you and right on the Jen.
Did I already say my name? Yeah. Jenn Graney, RVT. I started, over 20 years in the industry. Lots of species. Lots of specialties.
I can't wait to hear more about all these species and specialties.
So,
and then for our viewers who don't know,
Dani,
I will let you.
I have been welcomed as a veterinarian into this amazing group of vet tech nerds.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Dani Rabwin. I'm a veterinarian, also in the field for around 20 years. Graduated from UC Davis in 2004, and I'm in clinical practice, and I'm the founder of a remote mentorship program called Ready Vet Go, and love my RVTs, obviously. And so super excited to be here with you guys.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
This is the best podcast. We drink on this podcast. Oh my gosh. It's incredible.
Part of it. It's part of it.
It's amazing.
mine's a different color.
Yes. What did you name yours? Yours was the eye opener.
The eye opener. It's Monster vodka with garnishes that should not match it at all.
That's fine.
I'm good.
I think anything that has olives in it is going to be good. I like a savory kind of drink. So even if it looks kind of pale like
are
yours.
notoriously like a meal, and I always get I'm envious that I don't like them because they look so cool.
They're so fun.
Like,
you could put anything on them. Have you seen the ones with chicken wings?
Sliders.
Yes. Sliders.
I had one that actually had a beef jerky straw.
Oh,
so the straw was hollowed out.
That is
beef jerky, and I was like, they're on Amazon. I looked them up as soon as I left the restaurant. I was like, I need beef jerky straw.
Oh my god,
that sounds awful.
It sounds gross.
It's a Tuesday. I just need a beef jerky straw.
We're nothing if not gross.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Part of the profession,
we're a bunch of veterinary
right?
professionals.
Correct.
So, Dani, what are you doing with Ready Vet Go? I love your program. I love everything that you're doing.
Thank
and I feel like
you.
everybody needs to know about it.
Everybody does really need to know about it. They true. So I founded Ready Vet Go a few years ago as a way to help new veterinarians as they transition from vet school into private practice and provide them with the tools and skills that they didn't necessarily get in veterinary school. So things like learning how to manage time, communicate with clients, be part of their practice culture, connect with their team. We talk a lot about how to engage with the RVTs that they can learn so much from. I know I learned so much as a new grad from my RVTs who were incredible. And so really, I launched it with that. I also launched it with the spirit of joy, love, and positivity for VetMed. Because I think there's a lot out there that is going against that. And that's not what I'm about. That's not what you guys are about. I have listened to your podcast. It's fun and joyful. And that is so much of what VetMed is. And so I really want to welcome these new grads with that spirit of joy and help give them tools to stay in the profession for a really long time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Really,
it's been really
cool.
fun. It was not anything that I expected. I really am. I'm in the clinic still. I'm very happy as a clinician. And also, I now have this other thing, and I did it as a very small idea a few years ago. I had 8 new grads that I worked with in the summer of 2022, and word spread, and now we've grown, and this summer we're welcoming our 200th mentee into our program, and we have 18 trained mentors, and
can I ask questions?
Yeah.
How do people get involved with it?
Well, as a mentee, you can get involved by either enrolling yourself. So, sign-on bonuses and CE budgets are pretty high. So a lot of new grads have the funds to enroll themselves in the program. We have a cohort. We have 2 cohorts a year, one in July and one in October. So we're enrolling now for the October cohort. We have a lot of practices who give this as a sign-on incentive for their new grads. Come to us. We offer mentorship, and we also offer extra support in the Ready Vet Go mentorship program. And so they will, kind of include them in that as part of their sign-on package. And then we have a lot of corporate groups that we work with who it's just if you sign on with that corporate group, you get this as part of your your training.
So it's not just California. This is
it's nationwide, and it's fully remote. It's fully remote. We're not there to replace what you guys as technicians and leaders and senior veterinarians are doing on the ground to onboard and train new veterinarians. We can't do this without you guys.
Supplemental support.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll just turn the script on you guys as technicians, and I know you guys are all teachers too for veterinary technicians, students. Like, I think the mentorship role of a technician is essential for new grads, personally. Is that something that you guys talk about in your programs? Is that something that you experienced as technicians in the clinic? Did you work with new grads? Or how do you look at mentorship when it comes to just like the technicians that you guys work with?
Does anybody would dive in?
I feel like my first thought was when I was working emergency critical care, we did have a bunch of young doctors come through, and they did lean into our senior RVT staff.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a known role that those I think they just were in it and thought that was not,
kind of naturally
not that it was scripted.
Yeah,
not
I
like
a formal
I'm going to help this
structured.
veterinarian.
Right.
I wouldn't think that way, but ultimately we end up being a support.
Well, I'm here to
network.
tell you we look at you guys that way.
I think that
This
for
might
me,
be news to you.
I think
I think
news
it's
to
really,
me.
really surprising because I've had
Really?
a couple relationships with early career vets who I felt like leaned pretty heavily on me. And I was like, you're a doctor. Like, what are you doing?
Why do
like,
you need me?
Why are you coming
Yeah.
to me? Like, you have all the things.
Right.
Like, what?
That's so interesting.
I love it. And I love that they trust me that much. I love that they have that much respect for me, that they are willing to lean on
They
me to
do.
help in that.
Well,
But
I think it ultimately becomes a partnership that we didn't think about going into the industry, that we're going to have a right hand. Like, I love when Julia always says, my doc. And it's like, when you have that kind of, not ownership, but that relationship where you guys are a partnership. I worked with a lot of different doctors, so it always felt a little bit transient, but I do understand that doctors do need support staff that aren't necessarily another vet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Friendship, really.
Yes, that's an important piece.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the
Interesting.
people that we're
Like,
spending a lot of time with.
I think like with me, because you don't have a lot of veterinarians that are HQHV. So I think that's why I say, like, my doc, and she's been in the field for 30 plus years, and she will text me all the time, like, hey, Julie, if I'm doing, like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, you're a doctor.
You're a doctor.
Amazing.
So
Go doctor. Do doctor.
I love
Go-
that.
go do your doctor
right?
things.
You go do a doctor. I got this. It's fine. But then, like, I have, and this is not so. There has been a few new grads that when they don't have that reception of getting that information from your RVT.
Oh.
Well, like for
Yeah,
sure,
like, so
I
you
have-
know that you
where
can
you're just the
you're-
RVT.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
I've come,
Just in
I
front
am
of it.
Yes,
just
the just.
an RVT or a
Yes.
technician, and
Yes.
so I that's what I've kind of come across. Like not many, but there
Yeah.
has been. So like it's. For me, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, well, if you're going to be receptive, I'll be receptive. But so it's
I
really
think it's
interesting.
wherever they're coming from, like
I do
whatever,
too. I think it's
whatever
really-
culture
yes.
of the
That's-
program
yes.
that they're coming from,
Right.
teaches them that their technical staff is essential
Right.
instead of superfluous, right?
Right.
So
I mean, that's a
definitely-
really good point.
I
Nobody
do that with my
thinks
students too.
Like
my
how?
students teach me. I'm like, you guys, I've never taken a dental X-ray in my life.
Yeah.
So do you guys have tips for me?
Right.
And they're
Right.
like, oh, this. I'm like, see, like this
I know,
is
but
like
that's-
I love this relationship
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah.
Like
because
with my
we can't
students.
know everything about every
No.
species all
That's-
the time and all
that's
the
right.
all the specialties and all the tasks.
Yeah.
So being able to be open to learning is, I think, essential.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But also at the same time, not faulting yourself for not knowing it.
Correct.
Right.
Because we feel like we need to know everything all the time.
Well, I think that's where some of this comes from. Some of this comes from as well with the new grads. Is like they do feel like in order to show confidence, you know, how intimidating to walk into a room. You guys are seasoned practitioners.
Yeah.
Between all of us, we have like, I don't know, 100 years of experience or something. Between all of us, that's intimidating.
disgusting.
There's a generational thing. There's experience, and there's like, you know, this like hierarchy thing that someone's created. You know, where the doctor, like, they're supposed
And
to
you're
be
walking
the
in
one who
somewhere
knows
that already
everything.
has established relationships. They
Yes,
already kind of have
that's
their core crew
hard.
or their people that they go to. I mean, you guys, I don't know if it was a pleasure, but you guys had the joy of filming with Dr. G last week on our last episode, who was, you know, that would be my doc, right?
Yeah.
That was your doc. But yeah, like trying to come in and step in like on some of these relationships that have been decades, right? It's
Yeah,
like, where do I
amazing.
fit in with the
That's right.
receptionist that's been here 32 years?
That's right.
But that's where something like Ready Vet Go would help assist that clinician
Yes.
like reach into an established environment with
Yep.
confidence, but not arrogance. Like I
Correct.
think
I
that
love
it's
that
in it,
so
and it
much, Jen.
always comes. It really does come down to the person. How are they going to negotiate introducing themselves into a
Yep.
culture?
Yep.
It's
And
hard.
it's
and I
hard, and some of
unfortunately
that
have
stuff can
put
be
myself in a
taught.
position where I keep changing things, so I have to do that.
Constantly.
Oh, because you're like always going to work with like another species or another teaching
Yeah,
job.
I just
or...
and then the funny thing is I hate change. So yeah, I just
And you have
But yet
mastered
you're the
it.
one-
You
I
have
know.
mastered it.
What are all the like you even said in the intro? You've worked with so many different species.
well, I mean
and
not so many, but like I started
Well, more
in-
than
than one. I'm like small animal emergency critical care.
Is that
and
where you
general
started?
Practice, and that's where I started. Started
Okay.
with Canyon
Okay.
and Dr. G. Jumped into emergency critical care. Was there for the bulk of my career, and then kind of took a break, and then wound up in marine mammal medicine because I had been an animal care volunteer at Pacific Marine Mammal Center for, I think at the finish of it was 10 years.
Wow. I forgot you were there that long.
Yeah. So, was able to practice as an RVT for the last few years of my stay there, and it was amazing, and I loved it.
Then you went to equine.
And then I was like, oh, hey, let's change again and
Oh,
go
no.
into equine medicine, which was, I think,
why not?
because
why
you know,
not?
I mean,
and I think equine medicine is a breed of its own, obviously. And it was like nothing else in my practical career.
Yeah.
Because it's mobile medicine, it's working with beasts that are not going to participate if they're not going to participate.
I'm scared of them.
And learn. Are you? I mean, I had
Everything's so big.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything's big and
Did you have
heavy.
equine experience? Like,
no.
Did you ride horses?
No.
You were just like, I'm ready to do something new.
Well, it was a serendipitous thing, because I left the Marine Center and a volunteer that had left was like, "Oh, my friend who was on my team and blah blah blah. She's looking for help and she's an equine vet. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Sure. I don't. Why not? Whatever." And I rode along with her, and she was so gracious. And she's like, "Did you not hate it?" And I was like, "No, this is cool." So she gave me a chance. Totally green and. She spent the first 6 months or longer, maybe the entire time I was working with her,
keeping you alive.
keeping me alive, and
we should have her on to hear about
Yeah.
her perspective
Yeah.
and what that was
Dr.
like.
Sapp from Equine Medical Associate. She's amazing, but she gave me a chance. And so if I had not, I think that I wouldn't have been able to break into the industry if Dr. Sapp hadn't welcomed me.
But that goes back to really core key mentorship, right? Like
Yes.
these doctors who are willing to say,
Yes.
if I want to practice a certain way or if I want to practice up to a certain standard, my staff needs to be up to that standard. And my
Yes.
staff needs to be able to support what I want to do. So instead of saying, I'm going to be the, big man on campus, like let's all rein it in and group up together and like power in numbers.
It's such, and I always tell my students, it's a team from the front all the way to the back, up to the doctor.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have that cohesiveness, if you don't have that camaraderie, like that job gets really hard.
Yeah.
It's really lonely.
Well, it's isolating, yeah.
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
And that's,
Isolating.
I think that's what gets a lot of,
And that's where burnout comes
practitioners,
even quicker.
Yeah.
because you feel alone.
Yeah.
So are you guys teaching like technical and medical things in the tech school? And you're also incorporating this kind of stuff, like how to be part of a team, how to prevent burnout. That's all like incorporated as part of the curriculum, or do you like slip
Not
that
necessarily
in?
the burnout
Not
thing
burnout.
yet, because
they're still young and
such
excited.
beeves, yeah.
I think it's more like with me though, like what Erin talked about that text the other day. I know, R.I.P. Erin.
I know, we don't have Erin with us today.
I'm not getting the whole vet tech nerd party.
R.I.P. But she's nice.
She's the best piece of the puzzle.
I know.
She's the most eloquent.
I know.
She really pulls.
Well, we can have a do-over.
She pulls us together.
Yeah.
She really
does.
She really
Yeah, she's
Class
yeah.
to this situation.
It's funny because she sits where I'm sitting, and a lot from sitting where you're sitting. A lot of times, I feel like she's just like, and then like staring at me and just Then she has these.
But then she has one-liners.
Her one-liners.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're under her breath. I mean, we're talking like we're eulogizing her right now.
I know.
She's really not dead, you guys.
Yeah, she's still
Erin's coming back.
Erin's actually teaching, and the only
Yeah.
reason she couldn't be here is because the only
She's
people
doing
who
it
would
now.
cover her class would be
right
us.
here.
And we were like, no, we're
Yeah.
podcasting without
Sorry,
her.
buddy.
But she did send her well wishes.
She's
She did.
here in spirit.
But she's like, she sent this text, and so we're like, she was like, I really want to put this like into like one of my teacher or whatever those are called lectures. And she was like, is this too negative?
It's
and
a
we're
pie
like,
chart.
well,
that basically says life balance and
negative
self-care,
positivity.
and there were 3 colors that were the legend, and then the pie chart was like 3 different colors with 3 different values. So like,
But it was like, this is
they were
VetMed.
not a part of it.
But I think like for the
Right, that's funny.
third, fourth semester, right before they can sit for their test.
Okay.
Like that's where I'm really, me personally, that's where I talk about burnout.
Yeah.
Just because like they're gonna get into it. They've already been hopefully at least a year and a half into this field because they have to have a job when they get into like into the next like semester kind of thing. So
Because
like
we're an alternate route program, which makes us unique.
Right.
Meaning you have to be working and gaining
It's
clinical
on the job training
experience.
plus education, and then they will allow you to sit for your board.
Yeah. So I talk about it not heavily, but it just because I came from like that's like my personal experience with the shelter and stuff. Like I really got burnt out. So like I incorporate it not a lot, but like just to let them know like, hey, it's really big in this field. I mean, I always tell them like probably for other fields as well, but it's really evident in VetMed, and you need to find this now and know this now so you can find that coping mechanism before you're really entering into this field.
Well, it's a fine balance of like acknowledging that it is a reality and that many people experience it while also not being like a total Debbie Downer.
Correct.
And being so negative. That's kind of what I hear is like you don't want to avoid it altogether, but not like create this bad
like the
picture.
elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Like you have to say, you know what, this is a part of VetMed, but let's work on having you create coping mechanisms and life balance so that you don't necessarily have to experience it at the level that we're seeing people experience it. So preventative measures as opposed to
it's so important.
putting out fires.
Are you seeing a lot of these early career vets and these young grads just like deers in headlights when they're walking into clinics? Or do you think they're being prepared adequately to be walking into this shit show that is veterinary medicine?
Many of them are being prepared adequately. But what I always think is so remarkable, like, you know, through this work that I'm doing, I now find myself in veterinary schools talking to students a lot. I talk a lot about mentorship and client communication and some of the things that I love talking about. And I get up there and I always start with like how excited I am that they're on this journey and I can't wait for them to graduate and join the profession. And I can't tell you, like, every single time when I finish, they'll come up to me and be like, oh, that was such a breath of fresh air. Like, it's so nice to hear all
everybody's
these
a Debbie Downer.
everyone's about
So many Debbie
I'm like,
Downers.
why are we selecting people to put in front of veterinary students who
are-
are just
who aren't excited?
Who aren't
Yes.
excited?
You're like, what is this?
But
No,
I
I
think
think
that's
there's
the
more of us who-
pathology in education across the board.
Wait,
Like,
say more.
because I think that we have veteran instructors that aren't excited anymore.
Yes.
And-
Like, I'm not
and
excited anymore, so I'm going to go into teaching now. Is that like...
Yeah, like
well,
they want off the
or-
floor. They don't necessarily want to be in clinic.
Right.
But
the clinic practice
even
side
if
of
they were excited as an educator,
Yes.
they've lost the, I don't know,
the
spark.
passion,
the spark.
for-
I
yeah,
I
love
mean,
that.
I've met a lot of these instructors that are like, I've been doing this for so many years. And I was like, but do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And they don't.
Well, that's
But
why,
they're
like,
still
how
there
can you
because
teach
they have to
something that
make
you
a
don't
living.
enjoy?
That's right. That's kind
Because
of
they
why
have
I
to make a
started
living.
this.
That's
Like,
true.
I didn't think
Sometimes
I
we're
was going to,
stuck.
like, be an entrepreneur or start a program or, like, get out of the clinic in any way. But I was like, after 20 years of being a vet, and I'm still such a cheerleader and excited for this profession and I have all the experience, that is like, there's not a lot of people out there who are sharing that.
Right.
And the way you guys are after being so experienced as RVTs and still like giving back to the profession and speaking to technician students from a place of like joy.
Yeah.
You guys are still working.
And I think for me, the transition to an education role was very natural because of my background, because I was high school counselor and
before all these other
Jen,
we're telling you.
whole Jen episode.
You do. You really
no,
do.
I do not want that at all. I'm totally embarrassed right now. But,
Don't be.
but
Just have more. You have a couple beverages up there. So just
Take your pick.
have one of them.
There's a problem then.
It was hard for me to transition out of clinical hours because, and I've talked about this before, where I don't want to be, invalidated because I'm not clinically practicing.
Right.
And so it was really important for me to find a role that was valuable for me, valuable for other things or other people, but didn't make me feel like I was quitting.
Right.
Because you quit when you leave the clinic, but that's not the case.
No.
And so
Right.
finding something that was validating that wasn't clinical has been an interesting journey.
Yeah. And that's where you are now. Is
yes,
like
'cause I
in this
left
teaching
equine.
role and
Yeah, I left equine completely maybe 6 or 8 months ago, I don't know. Maybe it's been a year.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been
yet.
yet. No.
Clearly, I'm sad I miss it. But being able, the podcast has been helpful. And then kind of diving into teaching and understanding that I get to be excited for them.
Yes.
And
Right.
be the energy that they are looking for and be excited about
it's
it.
exciting.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It is.
It's the best job.
I occasionally do.
Sorry.
I place.
Whoopsies. My bad.
I will place the externs for their classes, so I have to go in and talk to them sometimes. And
Oh, she's such a scary woman.
it really
my God, it's
depends. It really
amazing.
depends on the vibe of the class. Like I've had classes that are like super excited. They want to get
let's
into
do
it, and you can
Yeah.
tell like they're going to be doing so well in this field. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then there's other classes where like you mentioned euthanasia, and they're immediately crying. You have students bringing in like
little sweeties.
and it's just like, oh my gosh, like, are you guys really?
Are you ready for
Are
this?
you ready for this? Like,
Right. 'Cause
are
it
you
does-
ready
Yeah,
to
there's some
get
realities
on
of
the
this
floor?
profession. Yep.
So I sometimes I definitely think I go too far, either in one
I
direction or
think-
the
I
other.
don't
But
think
it's
you
like
do, though.
I think you're a realist.
Why? Because you're trying to explain like
I just
this
say
is
like
what,
there's gallows humor. Like you guys might, someone might place a catheter for a dog that's getting euthanized and have a fucked up comment about it, but it's just their way of coping with the
Right.
situation that's going on. Like,
but I think the
yes.
biggest thing that you drive home is that it's VetMed, and you can make a mistake that can be catastrophic.
Yes.
Yes.
So you need to be mindful. You need to
Yes.
go into this like with the foresight that you're going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
like I love that you're excited. I love that you want to pull blood, but like, did you guys know you can lacerate a jugular and that can go
right.
Really
horribly
bad.
wrong? You
Yeah,
know?
I just got chills.
Right? Or you
Yeah,
can cut a
I know.
catheter that ends up in the leg and potentially
Yeah.
in the heart. You guys
Yeah.
can miss a decimal point and
Yeah.
you're screwed, you know? Like I
mean,
I love
it's
it, but I
VetMed.
don't want
Yeah.
them to go
We-
in
It's
reckless
rainbows
and
and
careless.
sunshine until you make a mistake.
No,
Right.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
mean,
think that
there's
putting
life
the
or death
reality,
things.
she's very good at putting the reality that like this is a real thing,
Yeah.
and you have creatures' lives at your hands.
Hands.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
and
true.
it's important for you to be mindful, take it seriously, and accept guidance. Like some of those students go in there. I mean,
Guns a blazing
and
and
just I'm
just
going to do all the things, and
Yeah.
sometimes I want them to just do laundry for a couple months.
Yeah.
Before, and just
Like the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Well, it's funny
Cleaning
'cause
cages and doing laundry.
I subbed your class that I think
What is your class? What do you teach?
she,
Julie?
the attendant class. It's our
okay.
It's
I was
like
like,
our
I don't know.
entry level
Yeah.
beginner
Yeah.
class.
Okay.
I subbed for you a couple weeks ago, and it was the class that I think I went a little hard on the
Oh,
externship
no.
talk.
Are you the mean teacher, Mallory?
No,
she's
no.
funny.
I and I
funny.
smile and I like kind of dance,
But I
like when I do
smile.
it.
But she's a realist.
and I laugh, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. But when I subbed
that
her
was
class,
a hard class though.
that was
it's a
rough
hard
class.
class.
but I walked in and they all kind of looked at me like, oh no, like you're our sub. And when I
Grim
left,
Reaper is our son.
yeah, they were like, oh my God, here she comes. And when I left, they were like, oh my God. They're like, can you sub more? We love you. And I was like,
How dare they?
I was like, but it's just,
Right?
it's that one conversation.
Julia's students, you're really in trouble right
Yes,
now.
right. But I was like, I want you
time-
guys to, I love teaching. I love having fun with them. I love seeing how excited they are, but I just want them to like respect the field and just be aware of how important they are, even as an attendant or an assistant or as a kennel or as a reception. Like it can affect everything.
It can, and you guys know that from experience. I mean, when I train a lot of mentors, people who are in practice and providing mentorship for their new associates. And one exercise I always have them do is share the worst mistake they ever made. And I have them dig deep. I'm like, share the thing that you never.
I just got chills because I don't want to.
You don't want to because you have the thing that that you don't even want to say out loud. Everybody has that in this field. But I think there's so much power in sharing that with people who are coming up behind us to see we did make that mistake. A patient might have even died, and that happens. We have those stories. And yet we're still here.
Yeah.
We're
well,
still
part of that,
doing what
and
we're
I
doing.
think that this was where mentorship really comes in, is when the mistake happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
People put their arms around me and they were like, "Welcome to the field."
Oh,
like you're you're okay.
You're okay. You made the mistake.
It's awful, and you got to process it, but you're with us.
You're with us.
Everybody,
We've done it.
So that was pretty essential for mistakes made.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that with mine.
No,
I think it was more like it was like
you made a mistake and you didn't.
I made a mistake. I got written up, and then it was just like we didn't talk about it. It was just in my file, and so I tell my students that, and I'm just like, look, like, and because it's for like that first one, ABS, like bio and stuff like that for what we're teaching. And we had this whole lecture on math. I'm like, you guys, math sucks, but we're really...
You got to do it right.
You got to math. You're going to be an RVT. You got to math.
Because that decimal can and will... And I'm like, this is where my mistake is I put that decimal in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Thank God, everything turned out. But, I was not okay. I was not okay after that. And I think I just didn't have the support
been in your back
it.
pocket.
I know.
But then and it's so sad.
The little positive corner.
Yes.
A little positive Jen in the back pocket. Everyone
you guys could carry him around in your pocket.
Right? But then even for me.
I know. I'm going to give you a pocket.
Can we market that?
Yeah.
Like a little pocket Jen?
Positive Jen? Positive pocket Jen.
Positive pocket Jen.
Oh my God. We're in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna find some Etsy lady to crochet this, and we are gonna start selling them.
I want one.
Oh my gosh, I can be the mean one. Jen can be the loving, caring one. It can be like a double angel thing.
Oh my God, I love that.
And then
so much.
you're
I don't
loving.
know what.
You're with me though.
You're
I think it's gonna be
How
me.
dare you.
It's gonna be me and you, and
But
then
yes.
Aaron and Jen.
I mean, how dare you? But how accurate is that?
Right.
But I think whether I talked about this before, I don't know. But I'm still friends with all the coworkers I worked with at the shelter, because it's not a good environment that they had, and that's a big reason why I left. And so they were having this one tech, she 2 cats died on her back to back, and they don't know what was wrong. Nobody checked in on her.
That's awful.
The supervisor didn't, the 3 docs that are there did not check in on her. And so when she messaged me, I was
that hurts my heart.
It hurts.
I was just
it's painful.
she was going on, and I was like, I don't care about that. I'm like, how are you?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do we need do I need to come down there and because I'm I've been
she's a
there.
positive Julia in the
She is.
pocket.
We need a
Yeah, you check.
She has her moment.
Yeah, that was there was one little heartbeat.
Julia
It was
too.
just for that 20 seconds.
Julia has a heart. Maybe it's just you, Mallory.
Maybe it's just me.
But I felt so
I don't
bad.
think I'd be friends with them
No,
if they
you
didn't.
wouldn't. You wouldn't.
You guys are so funny.
I think we just we have to mask it, because we have to be those those
Like our
bitches.
yeah.
Bad bitches.
We cover our trauma.
Whenever something big happens, a patient dies, or a mistake is made, I didn't realize that I even kind of overcompensate. I check in with every tech. I take it
That is so good, though.
seriously.
So
But I
good.
had one of our seasoned RVTs take me aside the other day. She didn't take me aside. We were in surgery, so I was a captive audience. she goes, did you have a really bad experience as a technician before you became a vet? Because you are overly checking in with all of these people around this. I was like, yeah, I did. I had a bad experience. I was 15 years old, and I was kennel assistant, and I was cleaning cages, and the doctor came to me on my first day and he said, room 3 is ready to be cleaned. And I walked in and there was a deceased Cocker Spaniel on a table.
Jesus.
He had done a euthanasia and it was my job to clean it up. And I was like, this pet's like warm. I don't really know what to do. And it was just so.
No guidance.
No guidance.
Yeah.
No guidance and no acknowledgement
And
that
at
perhaps that might
15,
affect
that's
me
gnarly.
in some kind of way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like constantly my 15-year-old self and checking in with everyone. I know when we have, because we do Carrington, I don't know if you guys know that college. But
Yeah.
So Carrington is our local technician school. So we have a lot of externs who come in who are
nice.
doing their program, their technician program.
God, I would love to extern at your place.
Come, yeah. It's
Oh my gosh, field
it's
trip.
really
Vet
fun.
tech,
Field
vet
trip
tech,
to the
field
Bay
trip.
Area, you
Yes.
guys.
Okay.
And I take it so seriously. Like,
Which is so good.
yeah, they're so excited and they're excited and it's fun, and also there are big serious things that are happening.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that everybody gets the attention and support they need to handle all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved VetMed when I first started in it, and I was in it for about a year before I went to Canyon. And I remember for like the first 5 years, like every day that I would come home from Canyon, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So
I did this and did this. And
yeah,
did this and did
and
this.
like
Oh
you're
my
just
God.
so like everything. I mean, it would be like, oh my God, we have to do a foreign body at 7 o'clock at night and I was like, I'm here, I got it.
Yeah.
I would be there till 10, 11 o'clock at night, be the first one there in the morning because I was just like so obsessed with everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that in like the new grads, the young grads. Like I love when they're so excited because I'm like, it brings you back to that. I mean, because we even joke sometimes our students will be like, I pulled up a vaccine, and we're like, okay, right? But like,
But I think
but I
to
remember
them,
that
going
though,
back
right?
to them, we're like, oh my God, that's so good. Like,
it
like you're
is.
using a
So
syringe for
good.
the first time, and you're
Everything's new.
like these sterile little vials that you only
Yes.
see on like TV, and like it's all like happening in front of you, and it's like,
yes.
oh my gosh.
And I
like
think
this
it's
is so
so
cool.
important that we remember that those little excited eyes need to be nurtured because those are the ones that need to come in. And I think that when instructors are jaded, they take the fluff out. Like, what does it take? They deflate
Yes.
the excitement because you're like, oh, it's a vaccine. But it's
Right.
like, no,
No,
it's a
it's a
vaccine. Good for
vaccine.
you.
You
Good
did.
for
Yeah.
you. You poked an animal for the very first time and you didn't go through the skin all the way and you didn't poke yourself. So yes.
and you know, and even if you went all the way through the skin, you guys poked the animal twice.
You did
You
it.
know, if you like
I had a
administer the vaccine
right?
to the air.
Yes.
I
It is
did-
a big deal.
We
It's
had a student on
exciting.
Wednesday. It was like their first class back, and like so I brought Opie and Riley the chocolate, and so I don't let anyone poke my little dog because she's the princess.
She is.
Uh-huh.
She's
So
the
Opie is a
queen.
big
Got it.
chocolate, so he has the veins for days. So I'm like, he can get poked. It's my husband's dog too. And so I was like, has everyone done? Because they were restraining for jugs, cephalic, all this stuff. Like, show me the positions, blah blah. And so I was like, has everyone poked a jug? And so one student had not. And I was like, guess what we're gonna do today?
Yeah.
Is this attendant?
No, it's the second semester.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
And,
second semester and not having poked someone?
Yeah. And so the whole school, like the whole school, I mean, there was like 5
is
other
the whole
people,
school.
the whole school, all of the students were surrounding her. She did it on the first try.
I love that.
Oh my God. Everyone was
What
like,
pressure.
oh my God. Oh, it was like, she was so happy. You could see it, but she was so happy.
I
We're
love
like,
that for
oh my
her.
God, this is amazing. Like everyone was like, good job. And like she was like, I did it.
And
I
that's
did
that
it. Like
beautiful
she,
culture.
I love
it
that.
makes me makes me feel like, oh my gosh, there is hope for this.
Yes.
Yes.
But there's
Like-
also a huge vein of like Instagram influencers, funny, that really are kind of promoting supportive working culture. Like instead of instead of like dog eat dog or competitive,
Yes.
like circling around somebody that's doing something for the first time and
Yes.
being like, you got this, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And it's sad
love
that
that.
needs to be a message. You know, I mean, it's good that it is a message, but it's sad that it needs to be. I guess.
Yeah.
Have you thought about, do you think that mentorship is really just geared for early career,
No.
early grads? Or do you
sorry.
feel like,
Let me just answer this for you. Just
I mean, I almost feel like
No.
if you can have
No.
a mentor or someone who can just like be by your side through your whole career, like you're so lucky.
Oh my gosh. I
Because it
tell
never
people
ends.
It never ends.
never
and
ends.
I just tell people like,
Mallory and G.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Like-
never Ever.
You might be stuck with your mentor forever.
Forever, yes.
No, it's like throughout our lives. Like I tell my mentees and the people that I work with in Ready Vet Go, like collect mentors. I collect
Yes.
them. Yeah, I collect
love
them.
that.
And my very first one was before vet school. And then my very first boss, who was Mike Buffum, who was my first person I interviewed for this podcast that I'm doing here.
Wow.
Like, you know, he's been my mentor for over 20 years. And I think just throughout our careers, things change.
Yeah.
And you're
And
going to
you
need
change,
people.
and
You
yes.
change. You're going to need people to support you differently.
Yes.
You know, when I decided to leave clinical practice, or not leave it, but expand, and I didn't have any really like support with business or with public speaking, you know, that all was really scary for me. So I had to bring new people in and collect new mentors. And then I still keep the other
different
ones.
specialties, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways that we can go. That's what I love about our profession. You guys embody that. You guys have had so many different, like, you know, twists and turns in your career.
Yeah.
And I have too. And I just love VetMed for that. You can do so
Yes,
many
there's
things.
so
I always say
many
there's
things.
no shortage of species and there's no
Yes.
shortage of specialties.
Yes.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that
It's
so
just-
much.
Keep going.
Yeah, like if you're not happy with what you're doing or you feel like, okay, I've kind of reached my goals here, there's something new. You can
Yeah.
go do equine if you've never even been
I know.
a horse person, or do high quality, high volume spay neuter. Like, how did you get into that?
At the shelter. Because, I mean, we would do, like, I mean, every day it was like my average was like 35, 38 spays and neuters.
I just never hire me. Just so you know.
So like
I'm
now.
like, I did 3 today. I need to go home. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. So now, like, I just kind of like I contract myself out and just hop to like these random little
Oh,
clinics.
really?
Uh-huh. They don't do like that volume per se unless they have 2 docs, but like,
Yeah.
so it's just
So
something
you're
that,
not just doing shelters for these like large volumes of space and neuters. You're contracting yourself out to go into different
Yeah.
practices.
yeah.
what,
so
just,
like
like,
general
bust
practice
them out?
have them, like they come
affordable
in.
spay and neuter programs.
Like programs,
she
so they'll
finds,
that I
yeah.
ran, or not I find, but like I have 2 docs that I work with heavily. Dr. Hawkins,
Oh yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
Love
she
her.
we brought Hawk in to do a podcast
My
with
very
her, too.
first day of podcasting.
yeah.
She was
I friggin'
amazing.
love Hawk. Well, that's another one where we were talking
She's
about
the
out there.
mentor.
She is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But like Graney calls Hawkins Jen, and I'm like, I can't do that.
She's
She's
Dr.
always-
Hawkins.
Well,
she's
I always-
or
I-
Hawk.
I
like,
mean, I call her
Hawk.
Hawk, but like we have
Yeah.
been apart for 15 years.
Yeah.
So
I
we
just
we
can't
became
do it.
Jen.
I just
used
can't
to,
do it.
I used to be Graney. Like I
Well, you are.
was in a practice.
And now you are
I'm Jen.
Right.
But I mean, I for a long time, because when I started, there was like, I don't know, anywhere between 4 and 8 Jennies, Jennifers
Oh my
on
gosh.
my shift.
Yeah.
I
And so I
remember that.
started, and I was like low man on the totem pole, right? I
Low
was like
Jen on the
I
totem
was
pole.
like a little tech 1, low Jen. And so they'd say Jen, and I'd be like, yeah, and they're like, no, not
No.
you.
Not yet.
And it was like months, Jen, yeah, no,
No.
not you. And so I
Do
was
you have
like,
to hear the context? Like laundry, clean up poop, and then be like
know,
that
I
Jen.
know.
Okay.
But they would be like, so I kind of tuned out my name. And
Yeah.
so when I got more experienced and I became more useful,
Yeah.
You're
they would
always
say
useful.
Jen, and I wasn't answering because I got so used to like not being the Jen. And so
Not
they
being talked to.
Yeah. So they were like Graney, and I was like, So
Oh, God, they're using my last name. Oh, no. I'm in trouble.
I was like, what did I do wrong? So that's when I became Graney, because
That's so
and it
funny.
actually like I think I bent the rules a little bit, because we all had our each level technician or tech assistant at the time,
Yeah.
because there wasn't title protection at the time, had a different color scrub. So tech 1, tech 2, tech 3 supervisor, and you had your name on your scrubs, and I was like, can we just put Graney on my scrubs, because
Oh my
nobody
gosh,
calls
And
me
did they?
Jen. Yeah. So I had Graney.
Oh, they did?
What are you guys each called at school in a teacher role?
Julia.
Mallory.
Jen. But
just-
sometimes,
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
I know, but
Nothing but.
I do say, there's a lot of the younger, like out of high school students that really feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
with
Oh, I bet.
addressing me by my
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
And so I said, you can call me Jen. If you need to, you can call me Miss Jen.
I get that
You
sometimes.
don't
Yeah.
just, I'm not Mrs. Graney, because that's my mother-in-law and that's her
That's
name.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just however, and then eventually I'm Mrs. Graney, and I was like, okay.
Even though it just evolved.
The students are so ingrained in a Mrs. with a last name.
I mean, that's so refreshing too, to have that
Yes.
that
they have that respect.
And
kids that have that respect.
Those are the students that do the best.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
They call you Mrs. Graney?
they excel.
Oh,
What do your
interesting.
techs call you at work?
They often call me Dr. Rabwin. I like to be called Dani. They cannot wrap their heads around it.
No, it's
Yeah.
the same thing with the
Yeah.
students
Correct.
that can't call me
Dr.
Jen.
Dani sometimes.
I like
but
Dr. Dani.
I like Dr.
There's
Danny.
no like culture in our practice. Nobody's saying you need to call the doctors Dr. So-and-so.
Yeah.
But it's hard for them to like kind of code switch when they're talking to a client.
Correct.
They have to say Dr. Rabwin.
Right.
And so then it's just easier when they're back with me.
Just
So
just to keep it straight. That was always my thinking with Dr. G went by Dr. G, and I always just called him G.
right.
And so I'd walk in there and be like, oh, G will be in it. And people are like, G, like, what is going on? And I'm like, so then I'd have to be like, Dr. G. I'd have to like make a mental note, or like Dr. Brower. I knew Dr. Brower before she went to vet school. So she was always Lauren to me.
Right.
Then went to vet school and came back and worked at the clinic. And I'd be like, Dr. Brower. I could like never
liked
get
it. There's something about like there's certain things that I used to do more when I was a new grad than I do now. Like I definitely preferred more to be addressed as doctor. Like I had worked really hard.
Yeah,
for it.
you earned
Like,
it.
yeah, I earned it, and it helped kind of differentiate me.
And you still look really young. So I can't even imagine how young
Thank
you
you.
looked getting out of vet school.
I pay a lot for
That's,
looking
you
at
know,
it.
it's working. Whatever
But
you're doing, it's working.
I mean, I tell the vet students who had graduated during the pandemic when everything was curbside, I'm like, you guys are so lucky. No one's asking you how old you are.
Yes.
Like that happened
Right.
all the time the first year out.
Yeah.
And I was a little more attached to the Dr. Rabwin. And now I'm like,
But I think that's
fine.
a
But now because I have the
testimony to
confidence.
have, like,
Yes.
that's a great testimony for new grads coming in that might appear younger. Like
Yeah.
I get with some of the doctors I've worked with, they're like constantly fighting upstream to kind of prove that they're
Yes.
not babies anymore.
That's
Right.
right.
And so
Yes.
it's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because they're
Right.
like, I'm tired of trying to prove to these people.
That's right. They've worked so hard. And what a gift to have somebody new who's just graduated who has way more new
Energy and
information than I do.
excitement and woo.
Energy, excitement,
Yes.
all the new evidence
Willingness
that I
to do
can't
new
keep up
things.
with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exploring alternate options. Like,
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you guys work with Dr. Morgan? Who when
no.
was she at
Do you remember
Canyon?
Morgan? Blonde, cute, young. She came in, she would volunteer, and then when she was finally old enough to hire, we
She's
hired
Dr.
her.
Morgan now. She graduated in
I
2020, and I interviewed
don't
her
know.
yesterday for
I
the
don't
podcast.
know.
And she was at
Yeah.
Canyon after your time.
Okay.
And so she's a newer grad. She's mid-career now, I would say.
Yeah.
She graduated in 2020. And we were talking about all of that, like, you know, she started as curbside because she graduated in 2020.
Yeah.
When everything was
Wow.
curbside, and nobody could be asked how old you were or if you were old enough to be a vet because they
Right.
couldn't see
'Cause you
you.
could see.
Right.
And that was such
God,
a
those
gift
glory
to new
days,
grads.
eh?
Those
Well, she
glory
still
days
looks
for
like
new
she's
grads.
10.
She still looks, yeah. And so she said after 8 months, when the doors opened again and she could go back into seeing clients in person, then she got it all. They were saying, "Are you old enough to be a vet?"
Yeah.
And she'd
Like,
have
I
to
just
come
think
up
it's
with these ways.
ridiculous that
Yeah.
people would eat the audacity of asking if
Yeah.
you're old enough to be a vet or old enough to be doing anything.
It happens
I mean,
all the time.
I never really had that problem because I always looked older.
It happened to me a lot.
They believed that I had the experience.
There is something about being like, if you have had another career and you're coming into this later than, you know, those of us who did it in our early 20s and graduated
Yeah.
at 25
Well, now
or
it's
26.
like, no, can you please ID me when I'm getting this drink?
Yeah,
Can you
hello,
Right.
That would be-
exactly.
I think the checkers that are like, "Do you have an ID?" And I was like, "You're so nice."
Yeah.
But then, you know, when
you're
they respond, when they go,
sweet.
I have to do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you could have just
You
said,
could have
Yeah.
just left it
just
at
kind of
that.
left
but
it. You
yeah,
could have
right?
just left it.
In a room full of women, do you guys feel like that happens to men? It just occurred to me.
No.
No.
I don't know that I've ever
no.
had a new grad, a man, say to me that they
Be
get asked
questioned.
how old they are.
Actually,
And I'm just
I mean,
thinking of this for the
isn't
first time.
veterinary medicine, but Jeff had a dermatologist.
Her husband. Jeff's her
Sorry,
husband.
Jeff's
Okay.
my husband. Dermatologist, and he looked like
12.
Baby.
a baby.
Yeah.
And so
he's a
he
dermatologist.
was like, and I went to see him, and he said, "Don't worry, I've done this before."
Oh, he
Because
just
he was-
jumped ahead of it.
Yeah, he
Oh,
got in front of
really?
it because I think that he had so many people question.
I would be like,
So
this is
that's
how
interesting.
good my work is.
Right.
You can't even tell I'm 50.
Yeah,
exactly. This is how good my
Pay me
homework
to do
is.
your facial
like
care.
thinking the question, do men get asked the same thing, I think that they do.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Maybe they do if he felt like he had to jump ahead of it. Because that's interesting. Because I don't think I've ever had anybody in my mentorship program or anybody that I've worked with informally come to me as a younger veterinarian who's a man.
I will say there is a very good-looking neurologist at VCA.
Oh, yeah.
And
You guys all know who it is.
I don't.
oh my gosh, I walked in and everybody was like, "Oh, he's so nice. He's really good." And I walked in, my first thought was,
Wow, you're cute.
"You're very good looking." But how the F are you a specialist? Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, he looked like the
Specialty,
prince from
yeah.
Shrek.
Oh, okay.
Like, the, you know,
yeah.
but like in a non...
Farquaad,
You can like
who's like this big?
internship,
But he was
residency,
Farquaad?
pass your boards, be a
What did I say?
specialist.
But
Yeah, no, that's it.
Oh.
But I
I thought you were correcting me. I was
No,
like,
no,
that's-
no. I said
But he was
not
like
far.
regular sized. He wasn't like little
Regular
tiny. He wasn't
sized.
tiny like Farquaad, you know? Because the guy in Shrek is little. He was
Yeah.
but it was like the chiseled jaw, like the beautiful
Yeah.
hair.
See, this is the
and, like,
tangents we freaking go on. So now let's just
You've really
talk
been
about
lucky.
Shrek.
I've been really inundated
This has
into
been-
this vet tech nerd party. This is
But
incredible.
oh my god, I was like, there's
hang
no
out.
fucking way you are a board certified neurologist. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And he totally was. But
And he was.
Why
But I don't
would
think-
he either if he wasn't.
well, I know. You're
part of the
But
problem.
I am
Oh
part
my
of the
God.
problem.
It just means you're getting older.
But he was right, but he just looked so young to me. I was like, wow, that's so impressive that he
Yeah.
did
all
of
that.
this. And
That's
then,
a lot.
and then I thought about what you just said, where I was like, oh, maybe I'm just getting older, so they're looking younger.
Yeah.
Instead of just
Oh, no,
like,
they
it
are.
probably is
It's
like,
awful.
I think
Yeah.
I was recently talking to my husband. You know,
Why'd
we
you
do
say
that.
it like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I'm weird sometimes.
Okay.
But I have realized that veterinary technology has actually existed since the 90s, and I didn't know about it. So I graduated from high school,
Yeah.
and I chose music as my major, and then ended up in psychology or human development and family studies, and became a counselor, and blah blah blah. But I was like, what would have happened if I
Oh my
had
God,
found?
you would have ruled the world.
I think
would have.
Jeff said you would have been a vet,
yeah.
You would have been a vet.
but my
But
high
was that
school-
just not on your radar?
No,
You
my high school
weren't-
counselor was like, you don't have the grades for science. I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Oh,
And my high school counselor was like, you
My
don't have the grades
heart.
for it.
But that also goes not even back just to mentorship, but just to like supporting people in what
And what
in
they
their
want to
they
do.
want to do.
yeah,
Like,
you
supporting
can do
them
it.
in their dreams.
He could have said,
And they
it's
might
gonna be
surprise you.
hard.
It's going to be hard.
But
You know,
you can-
maybe you need to
you
repair
gotta
that
try
D
it.
you got in physics. Like, that's fine.
Right.
All of us had
I had
D's
a
to repair in
3.7.
Yeah,
physics.
it's physics.
I was I had a 3.7 graduating from high school.
Stop
Dang.
it.
And I was told that I couldn't get into any of the
Oh,
California
please.
schools.
In high school?
And look what that did. Like,
What?
that one person.
I know,
who
like I'm
really
51
influenced.
and I'm still thinking
like
about
traumatized by
Yeah.
it.
But
Ugh.
I said, fine, I'm going to apply to every school in Washington, every school in, I think, Oregon and Colorado. And
Yeah.
I think I've said this before. Thank God mom and dad decided to pay all those application fees. But I got in, and I ironically went to Colorado State University.
Oh,
But I think what's
But
really
not,
didn't know-
but not,
but not for VetMed.
Like,
That's
I should have been
really-
there for VetMed, which
Yeah.
is not, I don't, anyway, I just am making
well, you should go back. I think you should go back to
well,
school.
it's never
No,
too late to go back.
Jeff,
I
I'll
had
kill
plenty
you.
of people, not plenty, but there were a handful of people in their 50s in my class, the class of 2004.
Brian tells
Like,
me to do it.
There's
Do it.
like a
Do
lot
it.
of people have thought about doing that
Yeah.
and then decide at some point after their life has taken them in a certain direction, now's the time to do it.
But I think
there's
that goes
also
back
so
to like
much.
the mentorship part of it, right? Like if you don't
Yeah.
have people supporting you and like
Yes.
trying to walk you, like if
can't
you
do it
weren't
alone.
in VetMed, like VetMed would be so sad without you, right?
Aw.
And it's
That's
like
correct.
Yeah.
you've been such an asset to it, and
Yeah, in
someone
the
that
way
like
that you've
everybody
been
can look
doing
up
it.
to in it.
Yes.
So to
All
have
of us,
people like
yeah.
want to shoot you down is just like so.
But that was, you
sad.
know, back in
Yeah.
the day. And I feel like
Yeah.
in hindsight,
I hate that excuse
there's
though.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like against you, but it's just like in general, like, oh well, back in the day it was allowed. Like,
or like we've always
hate
done it
that.
this way.
We've
That is
always
my
done it this
that's
way.
the
too.
nemesis
Yep.
phrase. We've always done it this way. No,
Yep.
we don't.
I mean, VetMed.
People are
We talk
getting
about this
smart
all
to
the time.
that.
VetMed is so
It's changing.
slow to change.
It
I
is.
mean, it is like at a
is.
turtle pace for
Yeah.
VetMed to change. So
Yep. Yeah, but if you guys went in a different direction, you wouldn't be here and impacting the change that you're
Right.
making. And I think, you know, like acknowledging and elevating what you guys do as
And I-
credentialed veterinary technicians is so powerful.
what would you have done if you didn't go into VetMed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good question. I didn't have a plan B until I got rejected from 8 schools, my first application cycle.
Wow.
And then I was like, I might need a plan B. And so I'm a California resident. I really wanted to go to UC Davis. I met with the admissions committee. They were like, your grades are not good enough. You're not going to get in unless you have a master's. And I was like, I don't really want to get a master's. So what would I do instead? And I thought of nursing. That was sort of my plan B. And then I did not get a master's. I just took I took a veterinary ethics course at Pierce College here in Southern California. And they have a veterinary, at least they used to have a technology school.
Yeah.
And then I just reapplied. And I had worked full-time at a clinic with my very first mentor, Valerie Creighton. And she was, she owned the cat doctor. She was a feline practitioner.
Oh,
and I worked for her for a year. I took a veterinary ethics course at the community college, at the vet tech school. And I just reapplied.
So you worked for it. You worked to prove everybody wrong, right?
I did. I was like, this has been my dream since I could articulate it, and nobody's going to stop me.
That.
And I
love that.
Did it.
Do you think that's why you fight so hard for mentorship and keeping people in the game, because you worked so hard to get yourself here?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think so. You know, I feel like a lot of people in the mentorship space and who love giving back as a mentor do it because they had such terrible mentorship.
That's where we come from. That's where we come from.
A lot of people have that. I did not. I had Dr. Creighton, and I had Mike Buffum, who was my first boss, and I had so many people who supported me. And so I just kind of model a lot of what they taught me. But yeah, I want to make sure that people are really brought up in a positive, joyful way, you know, so that they enter this profession.
You know what?
Which reminds me,
the VTM. I should freaking book her for the VTM.
Yeah, yes. We're going to talk to you.
We're gonna talk
we
to
have
you
an
later.
event that we need you at.
I will be there.
It reminds me, the reason, so my experience with my high school counselor was the reason I became one. So my first career path in my life, so master's degree in counseling psychology, and became a high school counselor because I wanted to empower kids, the average kid, to be able to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I always thought, like, I think full circle, it's all meant to be because I'm back in education ultimately. But while I was doing my journey and getting to VetMed, it was just a testimony that I would think I'm more designed for nursing. So Jeff says, you would have been a vet, but I was like, but really, would I? Because
would you have?
The
And
nursing
is that
component, I don't want to diagnose and prognose, and
Then-
I want to take care of all the babies.
So
So
nursing and
Nurse-
that,
it sounds
like you
that is
made
the
the
goal.
right-
But it's like when people make
So
that
it was
comment of
meant
like,
to be.
oh, you're
Yeah.
just a technician. Or
No,
you're
there
just
is no
a nurse.
just.
Take-
There
And
is
it's
no
like,
just.
out.
But you don't know that I even wanted to do all the doctor things.
That's
like,
right.
You
But
know,
they ask.
Yeah.
Usually people like, why didn't you become
Why
a
didn't you go to vet
veterinarian?
school?
And I was like,
I kind of hate that that's the question. Obviously, I'm a vet. I think it's a wonderful profession, but I think what you guys do is wonderful too. And you know, it's
they're
like
all
we all,
necessary.
but we all need
It's
each
all
other,
necessary.
right? Like,
Yeah.
we
Right.
can't be techs without doctors,
Yeah.
and doctors can't doc. Well, you could.
You
but-
could.
I don't know that we could.
Equine vets dock without technicians.
do.
a
Well,
lot.
They're their own breed.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that the culture is starting to change where they are being taught that they should and need a technician to assist them.
Yeah,
Because
they
they do. There's so much work that they
Yep.
just do, especially if they're on call overnights.
Yes.
They're alone.
But it's why, like, okay, I graduated, you know, just over 20 years ago, and almost everyone that I knew who graduated with a veterinary degree and went into equine has moved into small animal.
Really?
There is
Yes.
kind
It's
of
so
it's
physical.
kind of-
Including my bestie who I graduated
Yeah.
with. I mean,
Equine
it is
is-
hard.
Yeah.
Equine
So
is
why do we
currently
do that?
hemorrhaging doctors.
Yeah, because we
And
don't leverage the technicians.
they're
They
not
need to be
paid
on call
well.
all the time. Yeah. So
There's a lot of things, and it's hard. It's there is like the AAEP is really focusing on the crisis they're experiencing with losing doctors. Like even in the time that I was in equine, which was like 3 years, I saw several doctors exit the profession.
Wow.
So sad.
That's
Awful.
so
And that's
sad.
just 3 years.
Yeah.
And they were young doctors.
Yeah.
And so,
Once you still had some time left, but
yeah,
to,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some superheroes that are still doing what they do.
fish.
Good.
Yep.
She's amazing.
She is.
She's amazing.
But I think that they're addressing it to the point where we did the CVMA CE event in Yosemite this past spring, and there was for the first time an equine track. So I did that, and one of several conversations, but they had a round table about that, like what are
that's really important.
the crisis, and
Yeah.
I think that mentorship.
Yep.
I think that so many of them end up isolated and on their own and working
Yep.
working
it is, I
overnights
think.
by themselves.
Well, and
where's their technician overnight? Like technicians, I think could
and also
buffer
like the
that.
geographical
100%.
location of where people are keeping horses usually isn't in,
Yeah, but
an urban area,
urban-
right? So
yes,
you end up
exactly.
in
traveling around by
Or-
yourself in these
Yeah.
crazy places.
2 a.m. driving on a dirt road.
No.
Yeah.
You
No.
want somebody
No,
to
thank
talk
you.
to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think
person
that
who's gonna murder you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for like the
The
ghosts that you see like on
Yeah.
the scary stories.
no, I've heard some scary stories from these equine docs.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
are
I can
like-
imagine.
I mean, there's some wild stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it would have been good to have a friend with
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think
Or cell phone service
when
even,
you
right?
when you
Yes.
talk about mentorship and when you talk about wanting to encourage young doctors, my brain instantly goes to equine vets. We need to
Yes.
scoop them
Do
up.
you have
Yeah.
any large equine, or large equine? Jesus. large animal. Not all the equines are large. Like
I
little
know
baby
that
ponies,
little
but
ponies.
We don't have any equine exclusive
Okay.
vets in our program, but we have a lot of mixed practitioners.
Oh,
Which is,
cool.
I think, out
Yes.
of necessity.
It is. A lot of them
And
do it out
also,
of necessity.
they're like 1 foot in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
That's
because
true.
they want to
Yeah.
make sure that equine is for them. And
Exactly. I worked with a practice owner. She is the owner of a mixed practice. She does primarily equine. Her associates do both equine and small animal. And there was some discussion around, most of our mentors are biased towards small animal medicine, but we are not a medical clinical mentorship program. And so much of
Right.
the support that new grads need is not about clinical. It transcends that. It's about
Right.
connecting with clients.
Yeah.
It's about managing your time. It's about connecting with your team, utilizing your technicians. That stuff is like not species specific.
No.
Right.
And so,
Correct.
we're really trying to grow
Yeah.
that and promote that and let people know like this stuff transcends species.
To
Really.
everything.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's kind of a good segue. So on
Oh, the segues are good.
the
today.
segues, we're going
You
good
are
today.
on point with the segues.
We always do like little mini science breaks, so that way we can kind of make our podcast somewhat educational instead of rambling.
Or look
we are
dumb.
sciencey after all.
Or look dumb. Like
Yeah.
we've looked
Yeah.
dumb on a few.
Oh
It's
no.
fine. It happens. But this one I thought was kind of fun. But it says research on healthcare teams shows that when mentorship flows both ways, it triggers something called social learning plasticity. That's the brain's ability to adapt and rewire faster when people learn in a collaborative environment. For veterinarians and technicians, this means mentorship isn't just teaching, it's actually changing how each professional processes the clinical information under stress. A vet mentoring a tech helps strengthen technical confidence and case flow, while a tech mentoring a vet, like in anesthesia monitoring or patient restraint, improves situational awareness. Neurologically, the brain releases dopamine during successful collaboration, which reinforces teamwork as a positive habit. So, in short, mentorship between vets and techs literally rewires the brain to work better together.
Oh my gosh, I
love
love
that.
that.
I do
Right?
I
I love
love that.
Yeah.
That is spot on.
Yeah.
But I do have a caveat.
Oh no, what's your caveat?
Oh,
What's
no.
your caveat, Miss
Because-
Graney?
Because I'm thinking, jumping around, I've put myself in positions where I'm the first tech they've hired. And so,
You have to prove
and
yourself.
this is back, opposite. So I come in new and they don't know
They don't know.
they don't know what the role looks
skill, they
like.
don't
So I
know.
have to form the role, and
Right.
I will say, technicians being taught by doctors, like mentorship and role, relationship, yes,
Yeah.
but being taught by doctors is really hard because they're very different roles.
Yep.
And so they know what they want from you, but they don't know how to articulate what you need to do. And so then the whole goal of being anticipatory, like
Yeah.
anticipating needs and and learning what they need before they need it,
Yes.
is a little harder because they don't know how to tell you that.
So, meaning like in a clinic, it would be helpful to have a senior or experienced technician
I would have loved to have
bringing
learned.
on a
Tech
newer
to tech versus tech to doctor.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
I
yeah.
think that's
I
a really
think-
interesting point.
Which
Sometimes
makes
I
me
wish
think
like my
Ready Tech Go, right?
Yeah, where's the
Yeah.
ready?
person to say
Where I was gonna ask. That was a great segue to that again because I've been wanting to ask that.
Because I think
We've been
that's
asked a lot.
That's where I feel like I could have done things differently.
Yeah.
Because going in as an equine tech for the first
Yeah.
time, I didn't really know what the role looked like. So I was listening to podcasts and I learned a lot of stuff through other people reaching out. I reached out to the AAEVT, which is the Equine Technician Association, and asked questions, which is great. Reach out to your resources, please. If you haven't become a part of your...
We'll put their link up in the description for the podcast so people can get that one.
Great organization that's very supportive. And I think that there is a lot, like, and even when I was working in marine mammal medicine, I was trying to reach out to technicians and be like, what does it look like? What does this role look like?
What the hell am I supposed to do with this element seal?
Like, what do I do with this what is day to day? But like the technicians that I was talking to, one of them, they're at, other organizations that aren't rescue. So they're collection animals.
Oh, that's interesting.
So collection animals like zoos and aquariums are very different than working rescue and rehab.
Because you guys release.
Yeah. Right. So it was, I mean, like I had to find my way.
You had to go find that.
I mean, talk about like a niche in a niche in a niche. Like, marine mammal.
You're like the freaking China
Not
doll.
for collection. That's right. I mean, you're like
Russian doll, not China doll.
That's right. You're like the little baby Russian doll, like in the very middle. Like,
exactly.
I never even thought about that.
I am an onion.
Fascinating.
I am an onion. But I think that the point being, like, I love. What? I heard that. I do love the idea and the philosophy that the relationship between a technician and a doctor is essential.
Yes.
To good functioning and job satisfaction.
Yep.
But I also think that it's so good to have a peer-to-peer mentoring. So bring Ready Tech Go.
Ready Tech Go.
You have your first 3.
It's been in the works for a while.
Count me in.
Okay. I'm going to need people to run that. So you have volunteered yourself.
I am.
I know, I've got 3.
Plus Aaron.
We're gonna throw her.
Aaron, you have been voluntold.
We come as a package.
Package deal.
It might be a little sloppy package, but it's a package.
Well, we don't drink when we go to. Well, I guess if you consider this work, then we drink
you need to backtrack a little bit.
We, as always, we are getting the knocks on the door and the angry text messages that we are going over an hour.
We're talking too much.
That's what we always do. But
I could keep talking. This was super fun.
I know.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Next time you come down, we will give you the full effect, and we will make sure Aaron is here with us.
This is so fun.
But we are talking about potentially doing some field trips and traveling around and doing some stuff.
Bay Area field trip.
Oh my God, my sister's up there. My son is
come on up.
Yes, so we will come up. And
I just like to travel, so
Julia's game for wherever.
I just have to make reasons for things.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we can do that. We can make up reasons. That's fine. But thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much.
collabing with us today.
It was so much fun.
We love your program. We love everything about it.
And I love Vet Tech Nerd Party.
Yes. I'm glad we have a new fan. So
you do.
As always,
like and share.
Yes.
Like and share, everybody.
Yes. As always, thank you for joining us on Vet Tech Nerd Party and for
Ready Vet Go. Follow us on the podcast.
Yes. And we will see you guys soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.